Well, today we begin a new letter of the Bible, or a new book of the Bible, as some often refer to it. We're in Philippians now, Philippians chapter 1. And Philippians is a letter from Paul to the church at Philippi, a church that is very, very personally special to him. He was the one who started the church, the group of believers and followers in Christ that existed in Philippi. And when he's writing to them, once again, this is one of the letters that he writes from prison. And it's interesting to remember that context, because so much of what he writes about in Philippians to the folks at Philippi has to do with joy. And to think that he is in prison and his focus and encouragement to other people is about having joy and joy in Christ. What he's also very much aware of, and you can pick up from the writings now, is he's growing very sensitive to the fact that his life may be coming to an end. That whether it's by execution or something else, you just sense as he writes that he knows his time here on earth is coming to an end. But he's not sad about it. In fact, the verse that I want to point to you today to pay attention to from Philippians chapter 1 is actually verse 21. It is very short. Paul simply writes this: "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. What he's letting the folks at Philippi, his friends, the people that he loves so much, is he realizes that as long as he's alive, he's living for Christ. Everything he does, says, is a part of, has an opportunity to influence, impact, whatever it is. It has one purpose in his heart and in his mind, and that is to glorify Christ, to make Christ known. So as long as he's here on earth, that's what his goal is. But he goes on and he says, but to die is gain. Because what does he also realize? That if he's gone tomorrow, he's in the presence of the one whom he's proclaiming and who he loves. And so that's why he says these words to them. He says, as long as I'm alive, I'll preach Christ. And that's probably a good thing, because the world needs to hear about Christ. It's a great job for me to have. It's a great way for me to spend my time. But he says, listen, I want you to know that I also fully realize I got no problem with dying. Dying will put me in the presence of the one I love. I actually gain. I get more. I receive more. Everything is better and more fulfilling and fruitful, actually, when I die. Listen, that's not an easy concept sometimes for us to recognize and realize. We have a fear of death that's naturally inherent in us as human beings. But what the gospel does, and what the truth does, and what Paul communicates to all of us, is death is nothing to fear. That in reality, death is gain. But while I'm here on earth, I'm going to proclaim Christ with everything I have and every opportunity I'm given. God bless everybody, and enjoy it as we get into Philippians, a book or a letter or a book to the people of Philippi. Blessings.